or shoulda.
Would you please stand for the presentation of the colors? Advance the colors. Please join us in the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, please join us in our national anthem.
to welcome you to Troop 641's Eagle Court of Honor. My name is Mike Ford. I'm a unit commissioner. With the Winnebago District of the Bay Lakes Council. It's been my privilege to work with Troop 641 over the past year and a half. Among us today, the audience, please be seated, because we're going to have a special guest stand up, and you'll be able to see that. Here celebrating with us today are family and friends of our new Eagle Scouts, and also some distinguished guests, and we'd like to recognize them at this time. State Senator Carol Bittner, State Representative Greg Underheim, and also some people that are working behind the scenes in the Winnebago District and the Bay Lakes Council. Walter Scott, President of the Bay Lakes Council. From the District Advancement Committee, those people in charge of the Eagle Board reviews, Mr. Burton Keith and Bill G. Chairman of the Merit Badge Counselors that work with the Eagle Scouts, Roger Suda. Thank you very much for joining us here today. At this time, I'd like to introduce Father Gerald Foley. This has certainly been a festive weekend for St. Raphael's Church. Father Foley celebrated his 30th anniversary here last night. Today, we're back again for another special occasion. I'd like to ask Father Foley, the pastor of St. Raphael's Parish, to come forward and lead us in our invocation.
You may remain seated. Let us pray. God our Father, we ask you to kindly watch over our young people who are the pillars of our scouting program. Give them such strong faith that nothing may ever lead them to deny or compromise their scouting oath. Fortify them by your grace against the contagion of bad example, so that preserved from evil and serving you faithfully, they may grow into Christian maturity and manhood. And we make this our prayer through Christ our Lord.
Thank you, Father. At this time, we wish to present our Eagle candidates. Each candidate and his parents will be escorted to the front by an honor guard escort. These escorts are Eagle Scouts. Eagle escorts, please present David Verhoff and his parents Don and Sandy Verhoff. Eagle escorts, please present Kevin Basso and his mother Mary Ann Basso. Eagle escorts, please present James Blackmore and his parents Jim and Penny Blackmore. Eagle escorts, please present Philip Sperling and his parents Ken and Mary Sperling. Eagle escorts, please present Andrew Weber and his parents Tom and Joan Weber. These candidates for Eagle Scout have passed all of the requirements for the rank of Eagle. The necessary merit badges have been earned, each Scout has completed a service project, and each Scout has served as the troop as a leader. They have sat before the Eagle Board review, and their records have been reviewed and passed on by the National Council of Boy Scouts of America. They stand before us ready to receive the highest award in Scouting. Let me point out that the attainment of this award is made possible through the assistance of those who are with the candidates today. Their Scoutmaster, troop leaders, fellow Scouts, parents, family, friends, and members of the community. This is an occasion for pride and joy, as well as a time for serious reflection. The wearer of the Eagle Award is an embodiment of Scouting's best efforts and beliefs. He has distinguished himself through his continued performance of active service in Scouting. He is trained and practiced in his leadership abilities. He is marked by the character gained through an understanding of his citizenship and religious beliefs. It is important that each of us understand the meaning of the Eagle Scout badge.
The second obligation of the Eagle Scout is loyalty. It is designated by the blue of the badge. Without loyalty, all character lacks direction. A scout is true to his family, scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother scouts makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty, which means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Neither pain nor profit, pride nor personal loss shall change a scout in his loyalty. Let the blue of the Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty.
The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is courage, symbolized by the red in the badge. Courage gives character, force, and strength. It has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for the right. Trusting in God with faith in his fellow men, he looks forward to each day, seeking his shares of the world's work to do. Let the red in the Eagle badge remind you always of courage. The final obligation of an Eagle Scout is service. This habit of the daily good turn must take on a new meaning through a life of service to all those who need him. He protects and defends the weak and the helpless. He aids and comforts the unfortunate and the oppressed. He upholds the right of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his very best. To remind the Eagle Scout to always be of service, the red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the second class Scout Award.
Eagles, are you willing and eager to accept the responsibilities as well as the honor of the badge of Eagle Scout? Because of your reply, Eagle Scouts of the Bay Lakes Council welcome you as new members of the highest order among Scouts.
At this time, each of our Eagle candidates will be presented their Eagle Award. Each of the candidates has chosen a close friend to speak on his behalf before he is awarded his Eagle badge. I'd first like to introduce you to Mr. Fred Gurley, who will be speaking for David Verhoff.
They couldn't help an old lady across the street today. It's my pleasure today to say a few words about David, a young man I've known since he was born. David, it's really great to share with you in a small way your accomplishment in reaching the rank of Eagle Scout. As a father of Eagle Scout myself, I know how much effort has gone into attaining this rank. It's not just the Eagle Project either. It's all of the work that went into the merit badges prepared you to do the Eagle Project. It's interesting to look over the record of David's 25 merit badges, which I've been privileged to do, and note the wide diversity of subjects David has pursued in scouting. For example, David has won badges in canoeing, camping, fishing, orienteering, and pioneering, activities which we normally associate with scouting and having a good time outdoors. David has also earned badges of citizenship in the community, the nation, and the world. Badges in environmental science and soil and water conservation. These are preparing him to take his place in the community as a responsible and productive citizen. David's Eagle Scout project is putting a vote on the Sacred Heart School of Blackmore. David solicited a vote donation from a local marina. I understand it's in pretty bad shape, David. For exposure to the elements, arranged to have it moved to a shop for repair and refurbishment, put in and getting the help to work on it with himself and other scouts. When it's ready, arranged the transportation to Sacred Heart's playground to secure the boats so young people could play in it safely. I'm sure David did almost all of this on his own. It's an impressive performance, David. David has always been a concerned and responsible young man, active in school, church, and community affairs. I'm not surprised he's been so interested in scouting and all the positive attributes that this involves. David is a good scout because who and what he is, and I'm sure that scouting has contributed to making Dave what he is in his good character. Another big reason Dave is such a fine young man or his parents, Don and Sandy. In fact, Sandy, I think if you were admitted your party will stop yourself and help you, David, particularly when it comes to transportation and making sandwiches. Beyond knowing David as a friend, I'm also one of his part-time employers. Does their hair work, does a swell job, and found David regarded dependable and reliable in his work habits and performance. So that's what needs to be done, what he's doing. In today's world, where it seems we're constantly reading in the papers, watching on TV, or otherwise hearing about young people gone wrong, it's a very real pleasure to know that there are young people like David and his fellow Eagle Scouts who practice and exemplify the ideals of scouting and are getting ready to become our citizens of tomorrow. Congratulations, David.
Thank you, Mr. Murley, for speaking on behalf of David. For the presentation of the Eagle Award, the candidates have asked that their Scoutmaster, Jim Blackmore, do the honors. Mr. Blackmore, would you please step forward at this time? Would David and his parents please step forward? Before I present the award, I'd like to preface this with a couple of remarks about some of the things that we're going to be doing. And no one will ever know the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice, helpfulness, and patient perseverance on the part of the mother and the father of these Eagle Scout candidates, and it's only fitting that they share in the presentation of the awards to their sons. As a symbol of what these mothers have helped to make possible, we'll ask them to pin the highest award of scouting on the breast of their sons. As a rich dividend of their fatherly advice and guidance along the trail to Eagle, we will ask the fathers to present their sons with the Eagle Scout certificate from the National Court of Honor.
honor. These Eagles recognize and appreciate the role that their parents have had throughout their scouting program. In honor and recognition of the efforts of their parents, we will ask these scouts to present their mother with a miniature of his accomplishment in the form of an eagle pin, and to present their father with the eagle tie pin.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Deacon Edwin Smith, who will speak for Kevin Basso.
I wonder if you know how dangerous it is to let a deacon into the pulpit. Don't get to do this very often. Although we're gathered this afternoon to honor today's recipients of the coveted Eagle Award, I feel honored, as I'm sure the other speakers do, to have been asked to participate in this special day. I have known Kevin Basso for his entire life. I have known him as a neighbor, as a youth worker, as a church camp director, and as a friend. I've been blessed by the opportunity to watch him grow into an exceptional young man with even greater promise for accomplishments in the future. W.R. Inge wrote that the world exists for the realization in time of God's eternal purposes. He went on to say that some of these are bound up with individual lives, where God intended each one of us to do and to be something. What Kevin will do and be in the future, we cannot know for certain. But what he has done with his life and talents up to this time surely point to a life of determination, devotion to God and church, and service to others. As one of the great numbers of scouts who never achieved the Eagle Award, I have a special appreciation of the dedication and determination that Kevin exhibited in achieving this recognition. From the initial idea, through marshaling support, both financial and physical, to the actual completion of his project, Kevin exhibited the same intense determination that he has shown in other things that he has done. His participation in sports, for example, especially weightlifting, has called for a self-discipline and a regimen that far too many or far too few adults can muster, let alone young people his own age. By the way, I know from experience that Kevin has grown stronger through his weightlifting. As a matter of fact, with the help of a couple of others, he relocated a rather heavy piece of playground equipment to the girls' cabin area at church camp last year. I admit I had mixed emotions about that episode at the time, but it did show Kevin's ingenuity, his strength, and certainly his sense of humor. I have also observed Kevin in the work situation, and I can attest that he was faithful to his tasks and showed determination in completing them without complaint or without shirking his responsibilities. Bum Phillips, when he was coach of the Houston Oilers, said that there were two kinds of people that he would not tolerate on his team: those who didn't do what they were asked to do, and those who did only what they were asked to do. Kevin Basso would have a place on Phillips' team because he willingly does what is asked of him, but he also goes beyond that to complete whatever else needs to be done. He has determination. I know firsthand of his devotion to God and church. Kevin has been a consistent participant in his parish Sunday school through the years. He began serving at the altar as soon as he was old enough, and he continues to be faithful in that ministry today. But he's gone beyond that as well, being active in both parish and diocesan youth activities, including summer camp. His devotion, I think, is an effective witness to others, both old and young. Someone once said that real service is that which one does for those who have no way of returning that gift. Kevin's Eagle Project surely falls into that category. It was, I suspect, born out of other service that I know he has provided to the elderly. Service done without thought of return or recognition. There were, I'm sure, more glamorous projects he could have undertaken. He chose something that would not only benefit others, but might actually save a life as well. That kind of caring is something I have come to observe as being basic to Kevin Basso. What Kevin has done and been up to this point are being recognized this afternoon. More importantly, they point to a continued life of determination, devotion to God and church, and service to others. It's an honor to join you this afternoon in honoring him.
Blackmore.
Thank you. Contrary to Fred Hurley, who knew his David since his birth, and Deacon Smith, who knew Kevin since birth, I've known Jim for the last 10 years. My earliest memories of Jim were at the church next door here, our sister church, when he was probably 4 or 5 years old, crawling around the floor with his mother Penny, trying to get in the rain. He reminded me very much of my own 2 boys as they were growing up. I'm pleased to be here this afternoon to speak for Jim and about Jim. I'm also pleased that there is continuity that still remains with us. I was wondering, as I was thinking about what I was going to say this afternoon, if the Eagle Scouts still presented the miniature eagle pin to their who have done so much for them in the course of their pursuit of the Eagle reign. And I'm pleased that we still do that. I'm pleased that the mothers still pin the Eagle badge on their sons. This is new. Some of the other parts of the ceremony are new, but the heart of the ceremony remains the same as it did some 40 years ago in the basement of St. Patrick's Church in Green Bay, Wisconsin, when I was presented my Eagle badge by my mother. Jim is a sophomore at Oshkosh West High School, and I've watched him carefully in the last 2 years. I'm not going to tell any stories out of school about Jim, because there are none to tell. Jim is an ideal student at Oshkosh West High School. I don't know if there would be a job for me if they were all like Jim and like Kevin and some of the others. But nevertheless, it's a pleasure to have him there. He is a quiet leader. He is an honor student. He's a member of our concert band, the band council, which is quite an honor. He was elected to the band council by his peers to represent the band members to the band director. He is a varsity soccer player, and if my memory serves me correctly, he has earned 2 varsity letters. That's right, 2 varsity letters in soccer. Many students never earn any athletic letters. Jim has done 2 in 2 years. In addition to playing soccer, he also will coach the youth soccer club. I'm not going to review his scouting history. He was a Cub, he was an Order of the Arrow member, and now he's going to become an Eagle. But one of the things that I do remember about Jim was a Saturday morning last summer, and if you can remember, and I'm sure all of you do remember last summer with our heat wave. It was a Saturday morning, and my wife and I were going somewhere in our air-conditioned car that Saturday morning, and it was about 94 degrees, and Jim was over at the parish house over here on 9th Avenue, and they were ripping shrubs out, and I think his father was home that day also. But anyway, they were ripping shrubs out and putting new shrubs in, and I thought, boy, now there's a real fine young boy who's working on a Saturday morning when he could be swimming somewhere. And then to top that, I don't know when he helped re-insulate the attic of the house, but if it was any time last summer, believe me, that is a job for those of us who have done that, who know how difficult that is. Jim, congratulations on your Eagle projects, and you're benefiting our church here in Oshkosh. I know how proud his brother is today. I'm pleased that I was asked to make these remarks, and I also know how proud his father is. Congratulations to all 3. Thank you.
Jim and his mom step forward, please.
Philip is a graduate of St. Timothy College School for the class of 1988. Academically, he received a scholarship to Words Academy from our Christian women with the second highest grade point average of the class. Socially, he enjoyed friendships as he shared his fun-loving personality. And athletically, he was there to show his good sportsmanship with our teams. Witnessing to his Roman Catholic faith, he was an altar server and a leader in our Eucharistic liturgies. And so the three ingredients of our Catholic school philosophy of truth, community, and service were all part of his experience, and they parallel his experiences and goals of scouting. And while Philip was in the 7th grade, Mr. Al Natchi, our Education Board President, chaired a project to remodel a section of our parish parking lot with a playground equipment set. When completed, most of it still looked like the yellow parking lines and a large area of blacktop that we have out here. Thereupon, Philip began his Eagle Scout project. And today, as we say, you have to be there to see the great results of the service. The 6th graders enjoy a game of basketball with ball lightning. And they use the free throw line and boundaries that Philip measured and painted. You have to be there to watch the 4th graders show the 1st graders how to play hopscotch on the diagrams that Philip measured and painted. You have to be there to referee those tournaments to use the 4 square sets that Philip measured and painted. You have to be there to see the boys play dirt football using the 2 fields that he measured and painted. The caterpillar alphabet and the frog leap games are enjoyed by our little people. The baseball diamonds used every recess, sometimes on the butcher, for kickball and baseball game. Gym classes use the distant marks for running. True, Philip had help. His mom and dad were there, his friends were there, parishioners were there. The powers to be gave all the permissions from the parish to have the project done. But all that, too, is a great part of being a leader and organizing the service project in Scotland. So I'm happy and privileged to be here at this moment with Philip, his parents, his relatives, his friends, and Scout family, and to have told you
Ostendorf, who will speak on behalf of Andy Weber.
Again, like the past couple of speakers, I do this for a living also, and I will try to keep things brief. The Eagle is a long road to hope. I know that. I'm an Eagle myself. In 1911, the first American handbook for boys was produced. The Eagle badge was described as the highest merit badge. By 1915, 96 boys earned the Eagle badge. The number of scouts annually earning this honor was growing steadily. In 1922, over 2,000 Eagle badges were awarded that year. In 1924, more than 3,200 boys earned the Eagle rank. In 1927, the new edition of the Scout Handbook came out. The Eagle rank was changed to incorporate an emphasis on continual implementation of the Scout Oath and Law, the motto, and the daily good term. At that time, the rank for Eagles was at about 4,500, and increasing to about 1,000 per year. In 1932, 9,200 Eagle badges were awarded. For the next 6 years, the number fluctuated around 7,000 annually. In 1939, the number jumped to up to 10,000 Eagle awards in 1 year. By the mid-1950s, over 14,000 Eagle awards were earned annually. By 1963, more than 27,000 Eagles were awarded that year, and the Eagle requirement became more specific. The aim of the improved scouting program of the early 1970s was to make the scouting movement, including its highest rank, more relevant and meaningful to a modern world. As of today, and throughout the years, the topmost achievement in Scouting's advancement program, around 1 million men and boys have earned the right to wear the Eagle badge. Many changes have been seen in the requirements for the award, procedures for earning it, and even the shape and design of the badge. One thing has remained the same, and that is the quality of the character the award represents. Wearers of the badge, such as Andy and myself, bear the mark of the achievement for the rest of their lives. The Eagle Scout Award is truly the top of the rainbow, the pinnacle of scouting. As an Eagle Scout myself, I say that from the heart. For the Eagle Award, you must plan, develop, and lead a service project for a life scout. Andy's Eagle Scout project consisted of improving and beautifying the circle at Lourdes Academy, the high school that he attends here in Oshkosh. Besides overseeing the installation of 3 flagpoles, he was responsible for securing a new floodlight to spot the American and state flags, as well as a new school flag, which he also designed. That project required a total of 220 hours. Now, for most people, that would have been the end of the Eagle project. Andy didn't let it end. When the American flag was stolen 3 times, Andy got a new flag each time. And after last year's drought killed the shrubs surrounding that circle at Lourdes Academy, Andy went and planted new shrubs. Andy is truly an outstanding young man. His scouting and other achievements are listed plentiful in your program. One thing that isn't in your program, though, is the dedication of his parents, Tom and Joe, his brothers, Tom and Mike, and sister Amy, all who contributed to Andy's success. All their hard work and loving encouragement along the way was not without its lighter moments, such as the recent humorous time when Andy's father tried sewing on the badge and sewed his pocket shut. His mother did fix it. You can check. Andy today joins a select group of individuals which contain many of our leaders in government and industry. Scouting has been in the Weber family for many years. Andy's older brother Tom received his Eagle a couple of years back, and Andy's younger brother Mike is on the verge of getting his Eagle. As with every Eagle Scout, Andy's job of helping the younger boys to have the same experiences, the same chances, is an even greater challenge. Next Sunday, Andy will start to meet that challenge as he gets the chance to give back to scouting some of what it has given to him as he becomes a camp counselor for the first time at Verhoff summer camp. Andy, congratulations.
asked me to make a few remarks after. And at each scout meeting, we have what we call the Scoutmaster Minute. And the kids are usually anxious we can go in, they said to stop watching. I promised them I wouldn't get lengthy with this. Today we're honoring 5 young men who have taken a major step in their life's journey. I've counseled, camped, hiked, pushed, and laughed with them. I've gotten rained on, snowed on, mosquito bitten, whatever the elements would give us with these scouts. I'd like to say that the journey leading to today's events was a smooth, easy one, but that's not the way life is. Growth comes with experience based on trial and error, successes and failures. I started in Boy Scouting in January of 1985 with Troop 641, having no scouting experience. And I've been fortunate enough to be associated with this group of scouts. They've been the mainstay of our troop for literally years, and I've relied upon these scouts to provide leadership and active role models, and I've rarely been disappointed. These scouts have carried on the tradition of Eagles in Troop 641. For myself as a scoutmaster and a parent, I feel doubly proud of all of their accomplishments. These scouts are truly special to me, and they are truly deserving of this award. Even today, I can't help but remember the first promotions they earned, the merit badges, the first summer camps and camping trips with these scouts. They were always there and are always there. They're always willing to take on the responsibilities delegated to them and eager to move on to new challenges. With that frame of mind, it was inevitable that they would be here, being honored at this ceremony today as an Eagle Scout. My wish is that they never lose this willingness to learn and to serve. I just want to say to each of you, Dave, Kevin, Jim, Phil, and Andy, I wish for your continued success in all of your endeavors. You have given me riches beyond any monetary success I could hope for. You've given me memories that are more precious than anything that money can buy. You've gone through a metamorphosis from a group of young scouts, strangers to each other, into a group of young men who are a confident team, players and friends. Cherish these moments with each other and your families. Never forget the ideals of the Scout law and oath in your lives ahead. Thank you and congratulations, Eagle Scouts.
Now the Eagle Scout charge will be given by Tom Weber, Eagle Scout.
Now that you've received your Eagle Award, as a member of the National Eagle Scout Association, I have the honor to give you the Eagle Scout Charge on this occasion of your elevation to the highest rank in Scouting. I lay this challenge and charge at your feet today and hope that you'll pick it up and carry it with you when you leave and for the rest of your life. Boy Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant influences in the world's history. You have been counted worthy of this high rank in the Boy Scouts of America, and all who know you rejoice in your achievement. Dave, Kevin, Andy, Bill, Jim, please step forward. We are gathered here to honor you for your accomplishment of this significant achievement, but this is only the beginning of a lifelong commitment on your part. This lifelong commitment relates to the fact that every Eagle Scout is always referred to as an Eagle Scout and not a former Eagle Scout. If you had stopped at second class or star or anything short of Eagle, you would have been known as a former Scout. One becomes and remains an Eagle always. Today we'll just take a few moments and reflect as Eagle Scout to Eagle Scout. Tomorrow you face the world as an Eagle Scout. What might that mean to you? Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are marked men. As Eagle Scouts, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to humanity in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourselves and to your brother Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts. It extends to your country and your God. America has many good things to give you and to give your children after you. But these good things depend for the most part on the quality of her citizens. Our country has had a great past, and you can help to make the future still greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with solemn dedication. Be a leader, each one of you, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the high level of service to God and to your fellow man. So live and serve, that those who know you will be inspired to the finest living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their hearts and hands to the common good. Build America on the solid foundations of clean living, honest work, unselfish ends, and citizenship and reverence to God. Then, whatever others may do, you will leave behind a record of which you may be justly proud. Eagles, I charge you to enter this Eagle Scout Brotherhood holding without reservation the ideals of honor and service. Repeating the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members, you will become Eagle Scouts. Though the words you use are similar to those by which you joined Scouting, they will mean more today than they ever could have meant and at any time in your past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout with the words which the Declaration of Independence. I invite all Eagle Scouts present today to please join our new Eagle Scouts in the Eagle Oath. Please rise. Scouts, attention. Eagles, Scout sign. Repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop and in my community and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Ready? Two. Please be seated.
At this time, we'd like to introduce again Senator Carol Hickman as the delegation to make to the Scouts.
This is a challenge, holding all five of these.
We're here because Scouts make good citizens. They make good citizens because Scouting teaches them what citizenship is. Among other things, they learn about service, they learn about leadership. Through the Scouting projects that they accomplish or complete to become Eagles, they learn primarily about leadership. They have a chance to demonstrate it as well. They learn that leadership is not charisma, it's not great oratorical skills, because if you're at the project site, there are no tools, there are no materials, there are no people. No amount of oratorical skills or charisma can accomplish that project. Leadership is attention to detail. It is preparedness. It's organization. It's planning. And here honoring these young men who become Eagle Scouts today. And all of us here hope that you folks have the determination to stick to this and earn the same thing we all want to earn, which is the respect of our fellow men when you become Eagle Scouts someday.
We look forward to being here on that day. It's really, truly a pleasure for Representative Underheim and myself to be here. It's great to see some of the continuing, those who became Eagles a long time ago and continue to be Eagle Scouts amongst the crowd. Those who are more recent, those who have been Eagles for a long, long time. We treasure your involvement, your commitment, your duty, and your actualization of service. Albert Schweitzer once said, his quote was this: "I do not know what your destiny will be, but this much I do know. Those who are happiest among us are those who have sought and have found how to serve." We have here today 5 young men who have sought and who have found how to serve, with 5 different unique projects that have contributed to our community. In the seeking, finding, and the doing of those projects, these young men took on huge tasks. They learned much about leadership and about accomplishing tasks, and doing a job that in the end was termed a job well done. We're proud of your accomplishments thus far. We're proud of the teamwork, the players, and the friends that you've become in the process. We applaud you today. We're here to say congratulations and to give you our applause as well, to join your family and your friends in acknowledging your accomplishments to date. We also stand here with a view to the future, and we look forward to the accomplishments and to the kind of leadership that you're going to provide in your families, in your communities, in the future. We're glad to join with you, and we look forward to the great things to come from your involvement as well. And at this point in time, I would like to ask for all of you again to please come forward. David, Kevin, James, and Philip first, and then Andrew, if you could come in that order, please. I took a moment to follow your order and put these plaques in order so that we might give them to you appropriately. You know, it has been said time after time that this is a group of marked individuals. They are, in fact, marked men. I recall many, many years ago, to being in a younger grade, as a matter of fact, and these fellows are here today, that once upon a time I wore a white belt and a badge. I was a patrol leader and a patrol captain. And I was marked by being captain of that young, small patrol team. And I know what it was like to wear that badge, to be accountable for the responsibilities that one held, and to be looked to conduct oneself in good order, and to be worthy of the badge that was worn. You are worthy of the badge that you wear from this day forward. And all of us will be looking to you as you are marked individuals to continue in the fine line that you set forth thus far. We look forward, as I said, for your accomplishments in the future. We applaud the people you've become to date. And we look forward to watching you grow and growing in the years to come. With that, we have a citation from the state legislature, a joint citation, and it says this, and if you don't mind, I will not read each individually. With each of the projects we've heard from the speakers, those who spoke on their behalf, I outlined the individual projects that you've worked on and accomplished. And with that, then, we would like to present you with these citations that read, whereas David, Kevin, James, Philip, and Andrew of Oshkosh have participated as a loyal and dedicated member of the Boy Scouts of America, Troop 641. Whereas each have demonstrated their commitment and service to the organization and to our community by undertaking exemplary community service projects. Whereas by upholding the Boy Scouts' 12 virtues, each has been awarded the honor of being named Eagle Scout. Now, therefore, the members of the Wisconsin Senate, on the motion of Senator Bittner and Representative Underheim, do commend each and every one of you for your outstanding efforts, your community involvement, and your achievement in receiving the esteemed honor from the Boy Scouts of America. They were dated May 16th and signed by Fred Wisser, President of the Senate, and Don Schneider, the Chief of Clerk. And with that, we'd like to congratulate each of you to a couple. And first, David. And Kevin. Great. Congratulations. James. Andrew?
Reception following this ceremony. You may be interested in noticing that they have received letters from President and Mrs. Bush, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, Senators Cole and Caston, Representative Petri, and a special proclamation from Governor Thompson. They have received letters of congratulations from the Bishop, Micah of Green Bay Diocese, and from the scouting officials of the Boy Scouts of America, Harold Foote, the President, Ben Love, the National Scout Executive, and John Primrose, the Scout Executive from the Bay Lakes Council. Probably most interesting among their letters is to take a few minutes to look at each of the Eagle Scouts displays following this ceremony. Now they've been awful quiet, so at this time we'll ask the Eagle Scouts to come forward and say a few words.
Before I give my thank you, us as scouts, before we had heard all the stuff that was going on with that ceremony, decided that we'd like to do something special for our members because of all the hard work that they put in. So we all got together and talked. And Mr. Blackmore, my scoutmasters over the past 5 years, for all the help, strength, and support they've given me. I also want to thank the other 4 Eagle Scouts here. They are what really and truly make scouting what it is. And I'd like to thank each one of you for
I'd like to start off by thanking you all for coming today. I'd like to thank my scoutmaster for the most part for taking over the troop. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. The dedication that he has would all be just resource, and we would not be able to be here today. I'd like to thank my mom for helping me with the extra push when I needed it and sewing all the bags. And thanks to all the people that helped with my Eagle collection. I wish I could thank everyone by name, so it was just too long. I would also like to thank Deacon for speaking on my behalf. Every day I will always remember. Thank you.
Becoming an Eagle has made a big impression on my life. On the road to becoming an Eagle Scout, I've gained more knowledge than just scouting has also helped me to learn to set goals and follow through with them to see them accomplished. Becoming an Eagle Scout has not taken my effort alone. It takes many other people. Many, many people work with me to achieve all these wonderful things, plus one. 2 of these people are certainly my mother and father. With the constant effort and pushing of my parents, they are the far more appreciative than they ever will realize. Also, Mrs. Heisey and Mr. Walters from Liturgy Academy, who helped me with my Eagle project to achieve our Eagles. They has worked with everyone in the troop to achieve their own goals and learn the true meaning of Scouting. Without people like these, Boy Scouts of America would exist no more. It takes all these dedicated people here to make Scouting truly work. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the other Eagles out there, for they have shown me that this world is possible and well worth fighting. Thank you.
On the way to achieving my Eagle Award, I've met many different people, many different personalities. They all have helped me in some way to earn this Eagle Award. I'd like to thank the Merit Badge Councils. I learned something new with each Merit Badge I took. Everyone who helped me with my Eagle project, I couldn't have done it alone. Mrs. Blackmore guided me when I needed guidance, encouraged me when I needed encouragement. All the Scouters I have camped with, they made everything fun and educational. My parents, who helped me all the way, I can't thank you enough. And I'd like to thank all the other Eagle parents that helped put this ceremony together.
To reach this position of work with those people, I'd like to thank them. First person I'd like to thank helped me along when I didn't feel like continuing on. She kept me working on my merit badges and told me not to slow down, or I'd never get to be an Eagle. As you may already know, this person is my mom. Thanks, Mom, for your support and encouragement. I'd like to thank Andy, Kevin, Dave, and Phil for always pulling together to help each other. If one person was slowing up and not progressing in their merit badges, or whatever it might be, the whole group would get together and work on it. There's no better group of guys I'd rather put my Eagle with. The next person is the most important to me, my dad. When my dad took over the troop, I didn't know what to expect, but he made Scouting fun. We put all this efforts into giving our troop a great Scouting program. We've all had a lot of great experiences with you. Thanks, Dad. Mr. Sperling also deserves a lot of credit for this award. He went on a lot of our camp while so much summer camp with us every year. It took a lot of hard work. Thanks, Mr. Sperling. Thank you to all the people that helped me on my Eagle project, and also a special thanks to Dr. John Sheedy for his kind words. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you again for inviting me to be a part of this ceremony. I think all of us in this audience would like to thank you because it's afternoons like this that make me feel very good about the future of this community and this country. One thing that was not said was for every 100 boys that start down the path to Eagle, only 2 will make it, 98 will fall off. Nobody knows better than somebody who fell off. I was not one of the 2, and it's the only regret I've ever had that I didn't go down the path. So I personally thank each of these Eagles. So please join me one more time in a round of applause for their accomplishments. The benediction this afternoon will be given by Father Ted Hendricks, pastor of Sacred Heart Parish. Please rise and remain standing until the colors are retired. I would like to also remind you that after the ceremony, you are all invited downstairs to join these Eagle Scouts and their families for a reception. Would you please stand?
Almighty God, we give you thanks for these 5 young men, for the accomplishments that by your grace they have achieved. Thank you for their families, who by living out the vows of their marriage, who by living out the ideals of their lives, have inspired continuous effort on the part of these young men. Bless them as they go forth to live out the work they have accomplished. Bless the Scouting movement, that it may continue to flourish and increase in our midst, that many more young men may continue to serve and to learn service to you, to their families, and to their country. Bless the country which we love, with freedom, integrity, justice, with young men and women of courage, loyalty, purity, and people of ideals who set goals and achieve. We ask all of this through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
We meet again.
Just leave it.
The Boy Scouts has more than 5 million members nationwide. Jeff Force has the story of one scout who has attained the highest honor in scouting.
This color guard is made up of scouts who have achieved scouting's highest honor, Eagle Scout. 16-year-old Jim Blackmore of Oshkosh is carrying the state of Wisconsin flag and is proud of his achievement.
It was pretty great. That was like the best thing in my life so far at the ceremony.
Did you ever think it would happen?
I don't know. It was just like nothing I experienced before.
Jim's scouting career began 9 years ago with this Pinewood Derby car. He got third place that year. Over the past 9 years, he has collected more than 100 badges, 3 plaques, and a table full of memories. This is Jim and his friends during his first year of Cub Scouts at age 7. He's the third one from the left. And this is Jim today as an Eagle Scout. Jim's love for scouting rubbed off on his dad, who is now a Scoutmaster.
I've seen him mature, go from a young boy to a young man, and he really makes me proud. You know, I really enjoy working with him. It was an opportunity that a lot of dads don't get to do.
Jim had to climb 7 steps to become an Eagle Scout, including a 200-hour community service project at his local church. Jim says an Eagle Scout must be responsible and have certain other qualities.
There's like 12 different virtues or whatever in the Scout law, and if you live up to those, it's like trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, and thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Jim says he hopes to share his scouting experiences with others entering scouting and hopes it will enrich their lives as much as his. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Oshkosh.
About 10